So if you have a group of protesters who are protesting over government overreach, what's the best solution? Well, apparently to the Trudeau government, the best solution is more government overreach. I'm here from the Way to Native Chronicles, going way off topic of my channel's usual focus again, simply because I think there is a need for ordinary Canadians to speak out, and this also goes out to viewers in America who are also very interested in what's going on. In fact, worldwide, Canada is making an impact in making people think about this, even as mandates generally are being rolled back in country after country because it's not justifiable anymore. In Canada, you're just buckling down. So what we have here in Canada that's just started today is the government has instituted or enacted the Emergencies Act. By the way, for this channel, I'm losing subscribers when I put up a video like this. So I hope you subscribe. Just keep that in mind. Support this. I'm not doing this. There's not any upside to it. But I just want to point out that it's really sad that we've reached this stage in Canadian politics when measures like that can be enacted. Our Prime Minister, the same one who enjoyed going in blackface to parties and ridiculing people of other races, he doesn't mind now taking a knee in Black Lives Matters, and we saw all the destruction and things like that went on in the States. Many other protests and cases have come up where the government hasn't gone to these extremes, but you get a bunch of hardworking truckers, people that know how to respect property because they're hardworking people themselves. They clean up their mess, they help those around them. You get a bunch of them in their bouncy castles up in Ottawa, and the government just freaks out. They've got to bring this to a stop. Now, of course, it's being made more complicated by in Coutts, Alberta. Somehow the RCMP have found a group of people that had 13 rifles and 2 handguns. Boy, that's just about enough to overthrow the entire country, isn't it? And I don't approve of what those people did, but you're going to get some outliers. You might even get some false flag events with some of the tactics that the police forces use or the intelligence community. But that aside, this Emergency Measures Act is totally unjustified. Anybody who's read the law knows that it's supposed to be enacted on a temporary basis when the sovereignty of and protection of the country is at risk. We're not anywhere close to that, and it's supposed to depend on when the provincial powers are simply unable to deal with the problem. So we're not anywhere close to that either. So down the road, if they get away with this is going to change the essence of our country and reduce our freedoms long term. Even the Conservative Party should be ashamed of themselves for not immediately protesting this. Instead, they're just kind of, maybe it's okay. We're just going to have to think about it for a little while. You don't have to think about stuff like this. They're taking money right out of people's bank accounts, taking extraordinary measures like that. Who's going to want to put their money in banks anymore? I think the cryptocurrency guys are going to have a field day with this. You cannot trust that your money is going to be secure anymore, because if you voice the wrong positions or get mixed with the wrong crowd or get recorded by the RCMP, in a protest group that the government doesn't like, you're going to be on that database. So it's really putting a dampening effect on freedom for very little cause. I know the people in Ottawa, it's a real pain in the neck for what they're dealing with the noise and just the disruption to their daily lives. But that's the way protests are. If they're not being annoying, it's not really much of a protest. Unfortunately, that's kind of the price of democracy. And they are have chosen to live at in the seat of Canadian power, that's where the demonstrations are going to take place, right? So I hope things get resolved peacefully, but it's sure starting to look to me like the reaction is going to be made way worse now that the government overreaches, because it's really confirmed exactly the whole protest, what it's about. It's not just about mandates for vaccinations. I mean, personally, I'm pro-vaccine. It's just that I'm not going to force other people to get it. And I've also been keeping a close eye on the scientific backup for these measures, and it's becoming quite clear that that the reason for more mandating vaccinations and even wearing masks is been diminishing with this Omicron variant, and you can see that taking place in many other countries around the world as they're just saying, okay, we don't have to do this anymore, partly because it's just not going to help. So anyhow, I want to just put the word out to the rest of Canadians, including some American viewers that we have here. A lot of people around the world are interested in what's going on in Canada, partly because it's such an anomaly, considering the general behavior of Canadians and our law-abiding nature. You know, if you've lost the argument with Canadians, you've lost the argument when it comes to freedom and orderliness. If we're getting up in arms, not literally in arms, but if we're out there protesting, I think that sends a strong message to the rest of the world that you know, something's got to be done, and they're kind of uplifted by the boldness and bravery of these people. The people in these trucks are putting everything they have on the line. I mean, a lot of these rigs are worth $100,000, maybe even $200,000. The government's just going to seize everything. They're going to lose everything. A lot of them have their spouses and their children even with them. What's the government going to do? They're just applying every lever of pressure, and I don't know how this is going to turn out. Like, up until now, the tow truck drivers have been in solidarity. They're not going to go against their brothers and tow these trucks out, but now with the Emergency Measures Act, it's basically like conscription. Part of that act says that they can force you as a citizen to do whatever work they so dictate that you do, which is really meaning they can force the tow truck drivers to go in and tow those trucks out. And I don't think it's going to work anyways, but that's what stuff like that is aimed for, is force your population to comply. You don't agree, we're going to force you to do what you don't agree with. This is a very significant change to the way things should be done and have been done in this country up until this stage. So I really don't want to see mayhem take place, but I really have to say I wish you well, all the truckers. You know, things can get excited, and I hope you keep your cool, but you're putting a lot on the line, and I have to respect that. So from the Weighted Native Chronicles, may God bless. Let's keep our country safe and free.
Day to Beneza Catholics. That's